Hi, I'm Mike. Today we take a look at haying in northeast Wyoming, the mowing, the raking, the baling, and the equipment that we'll use. We'll also take a look back at some of the older equipment that they used to use. It's all coming up on our Wyoming Life. Hi, and welcome back to our Wyoming Life. Work is piling up, as I'm sure it is for you. And originally we had planned to brand calves this weekend. Well, that's been pushed back because we've had more rain, and branding wet cows never works, and working with wet cows is no fun at all. So on short notice, I had to come up with something that I can make a video about, and something interesting. Story of my life. If this is your first time here, please subscribe, and I'll give you a couple good reasons why. Number one, well, you can come with us and explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary. That's our usual deal, and it's true. Each and every week we bring you more from the ranch, some the good and some the bad, but it's all there, and it's real life. The other reason is that we're heading into haying season. In fact, the weather is supposed to straighten out a bit. Next week we have temperatures in the 80s and no rain in the forecast, so things are going to dry out, and it's going to let us into the field, and we can begin cutting grass and making hay for all the animals to eat all winter long, and hopefully make enough where we don't have to buy any hay. But the verdict is still out on that. Before I can even cut one blade of grass, we have to get equipment ready to do that. And I thought it might be cool to take you on a journey with me through haying here on the ranch. With each piece of equipment we use, we're going to go through it thoroughly. In fact, maybe even well enough that you could come and help. I don't have a ranch hand this year, so you just volunteered for the job. Each step of the way through the entire haying season, my plan is to show you the how and the why, and maybe even throw in something a little special every now and then. So subscribe and make sure that you follow along and don't miss a thing. Today we're going to get started on the haying process with getting all of our equipment out of storage. Now this may sound mundane, but it's the first step on a long road that people in this area have been walking down for years. This is a scythe, the Grim Reaper thing, traced back to 500 BC, and it was cutting edge technology for thousands of years. It was used to mow hay and crops, which was then stacked for animal use for later extract the grains. We've come a long way since then. But even out in the pastures of the ranch, we still find the old remnants of years gone by. Mowing is the first step in hay production on the ranch. In the past, we've mowed using a swather, but this year we actually sold our swather. The money will help the ranch, and we also have other ways to cut and mow our hay. Sickle bars are the basic of the mowing system, and they've been around for years. Some newer technology includes disc mowers, which we don't have. Our mower is a Rouse 99 mower. And just like this horse-drawn mower out in the hayfield of the ranch, it uses a sickle to cut hay. This mower has been in this exact spot for many, many years. I imagine it was probably dropped off right where it broke down 75 or even 100 years ago. A rancher threw his hat down and said, "That's it, I'm buying a tractor." And off to town he went, leaving this 8-foot mower behind, and a testament to frustration. Hopefully, he grabbed his horses. Now our Rouse 99 mower can cut 18 feet in one pass. It's roughly 30 feet long, and we're going to spend a lot of time pulling it around the field, usually with our feeding tractor, the John Deere 6420. We'll spend most of our time during haying in this tractor, and it's the most comfortable to drive, for me anyway, and the AC works really well. The mower will cut grass and lay it down behind it, allowing it to dry faster and be ready for the next step of the haying process. Once hay is cut and dried enough, we can begin raking it into what are called windrows for the baler, our next step, to come along and pick it up. But the automatic baler wasn't invented until 1936. We'll get more into that later. So they still had to gather hay and do something with it until it could be fed over the winter. Most of the time it was raked and stacked. Raking was done using a dump rake, again pulling it behind horses, just like this one. Well, almost just like this one. Over the years, this one's been modified for tractor use. Imagine a seat on here, and all the operator had to do was move a lever and try not to fall off the thing. It'd be pulled through the field, gathering cut hay in its teeth until it was full, and then a lever would be moved and it would dump out the hay. That hay could then be moved into a stack for storage. When we first came to the ranch, Gilbert was still using dump rakes. Now they were pulled by tractors, of course, and they were 40 feet wide, but he still used them. Recently, we upgraded to a wheel rake. This rake is easier to use because there's no dumping involved. You just pull it through the field. The wheels spin, gathering the hay in a 30-foot range and putting it in a nice little row. There's not really much more to it. We usually pull it with our John Deere 6410, and if you can drive in a straight line, you can run a rake. And it's also where I start ranch hands while haying. The most complicated part of the haying process can be the baler. Baling changed the livestock game completely in 1936 with the advent of the first automatic baler. The first round baler, the predecessor to ours, came around in 1947 with the Alice Chalmers Roto Baler. We bale using a round baler, creating bales that are 5 feet wide and 6 feet tall. They can weigh up to 1,500 pounds each. Other types of balers can make small bales. Some make bigger bales, including big square balers that can make bales 8 feet long, 4 feet high. Now, there's different reasons for making different sizes and shapes of bales. Ease of feeding is a big one for us as we roll our bales out for the cows to eat during the winter. But the big factor for us is storage of the bales. Round bales shed water and moisture from snow better than big squares. And since we store them outside, that's a big consideration. Also, large square balers can take a lot of horsepower to run. Round balers can often run on a tractor with about 100 horsepower, so there's no need to go out and buy a bigger tractor. Our baler is a John Deere 568. It's got an extra wide pickup to enable it to gobble up more grass and make bales faster. It wraps the bales in a netting that protects them, well, just a little bit better than twine. Our John Deere 4055 is our biggest tractor with just over 106 horsepower, enabling us to pull this heavy baler up and down the hills without overtaxing the tractor. Our next step before haying will be going through each and every one of these machines before we use them. The mower needs some sharpening and everything needs greased, and then we'll be ready to go to work, making the food that the cows depend on all winter long. Haying can be, well, it's kind of one of the more strenuous times on the ranch. There's lots of pressure to make bales and make them fast and efficient and correctly. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to learn everything there is to know about these machines, from how to maintain them, to how to fix them when they're broken, to running the baler and the baling computer to make sure that you make the best bales that you can. There are many factors that go into making hay, but one of the most important is the moisture level of the hay that we bale, and we're going to be testing that as well. I hope that you're willing to come along with me. I promise to leave this thing at home, and we're going to get a lot done. Hopefully, we're going to make over 500 tons of hay. That's 1,000,000 pounds, over 700 bales that the cows are going to enjoy every day this winter. Please subscribe, hit that bell button so you get notifications when we release new videos, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Just a side note, haying is when a majority of accidents happen around here, so be careful. I know I will. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Our Wyoming Life for content that you can't find anywhere else. And I'll see you on Tuesday as we continue the project list. Until then, have a great week. And thanks for joining us in Our Wyoming Life.